Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to this week's episode of the Ephemeral Orb. We skipped last week because of BlizzCon stuff, although we recorded this in the week before, so maybe there was some revolutionary news announcement at BlizzCon. Maybe Blizzard is now named Pandaland, I don't know. And this is no longer World of Warcraft, but World of Pandacraft. We don't know. We are in the past, but you're listening in the future. Time is funny that way. Also, hello to Thompshire viewers because this will be posted on his channel. So, let's, I suppose, before we go into the recap of what happened last episode, introduce our players. As usual, I suppose, let's go in alphabetical order. DoomGoblin, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is DoomGoblin and I'm going to be playing Captain Bladebeard, a pirate captain whose crew and ship were stolen by a witch. Well, most of his crew. He still has Buhd.
Yeah.
I'm Sir Thompshire, and I'm playing Benjamin Aaran, a sort of a sellsword that has been with this strange crew on this little adventure.
Indeed. And last but by no means least, we have Skoll.
Hello, I am Skoll Shorties, and I am playing as the lovable Buhd, who is, as said, a pirate of the crew of Captain Bladebeard, the only crew member, really. And he was a former warlord of Teeironor, but then he got bonked on the head or something of the sorts. It's kind of vague. And he can't remember that, so he's the lovable goofball that we know today.
The lovable head muncher, what can I say?
Yep. It's like gummy bears.
So last time, speaking of Buhd munching on heads, we had a very kind of divergent episode. We had a first half where Buhd was walking around the ship, munching on heads, befriending the forest troll cook person who gave him a bunch of heads after learning that Buhd is the Kraken scarer, I guess. And also, in that first half, Bladebeard, Benjamin, and the Archmage Lady discuss their theories on who the villain person that they saw, that Buhd saw in Booty Bay and that they then saw in a dream might be. And they think it's a Death Knight, funnily enough. Yeah. And in the second half of the episode, we got ourselves into a bit of a murder mystery where the orc prisoner they captured the previous session was murdered and her eyes were missing. And accusations were thrown around, etc., etc. And the crew wound up spending the night in the ship's brig. But they were released because, lack of any real evidence, practically. Also, at the end of the last session, the little gnome you see on the right of the screen talked to Benjamin and revealed herself to be the actual captain of the ship. Only enlisted Benjamin in helping them find the culprit. And the last we left off, they were sort of leaving and going back into the larger ship. Okay. And let's see, what are you guys doing exactly now that I finished the recap? Benjamin, you just finished talking with the gnome. You're sort of walking kind of alongside her. What are your thoughts?
I'm still quite shaken by the whole thing of, the suspicions I talked about before the session. I kind of don't want to, really find out who is the killer if it's who I think it is.
Just because I'll move on to Bladebeard and Buhd in a bit, but just because it's going to happen right away, you will pass by the quote-unquote cell you guys were in, where Shallan still is. He's still sort of hugging himself, mumbling because you scared him. What's your reaction upon seeing him? The guards who are there are like looking at him like, what are we supposed to do with him? Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I heard you.
Again, I forgot the push to talk.
Okay, you really scared me.
I guess I just try to get
Sorry?
with them.
You try to what? You cut off, sorry.
I just try to get closer and see how he's feeling without actually asking him.
Well, he is more or less like he usually is in this situation when you guys mentioned the dagger. Hugging himself, mumbling to himself, looking scared.
I essentially just sigh and leave because I think that if I actually try interacting, I'll just make it worse.
The gnome will like come up to you and she will say, if you agree to it, I'd like to take a closer look at him. He will not be harmed, I can promise you that, but I'd like to find a way of perhaps relieving him of this curse of his.
Yeah, it hurts to see him like this. He's a nice guy. What can I say?
Then the gnome lady will nod, and the two sort of guards will like gently pick up Shallan, who won't resist, and start leading him to like the captain's quarters, led by the gnome lady. What do you do?
I just go back outside and just try, taking a breath.
Okay. And let's see what Buhd and Bladebeard were doing. Buhd, you just finished like relieving yourself. What do you do? Oh, etc.
Buhd feel better.
Moving back. Buhd, you just finished like relieving yourself. What are your thoughts, etc.?
Buhd feel better. More empty now.
Yeah, you also see a bunch of the crew members like desperately try not looking at you.
What's going on with everyone? Do they need to poop too?
Everyone starts like pretending they have something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Bladebeard, what are you doing?
Bladebeard is just sitting somewhere, looking towards the open ocean, like half asleep.
Yeah, you did spend the night not sleeping at all.
Yeah, very tired.
Benjamin, would you head to like the above deck or stay below?
I think I've had above deck.
Okay. Are you moving with the gnome lady and Shallan, or like behind them, or?
I'll follow them a bit behind, so I don't, trigger Shallan.
Well, you're not the one triggering Shallan. It was something you had, but okay.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't want to make things worse.
Okay. In that case, Bladebeard and Buhd, you would see the gnome first mate lady, along with two of the crew, sort of gently leading Shallan from below deck. Shallan is not resisting.
What's going on with Shallan?
Sorry, it froze for me for a little bit. Could you repeat what you guys were saying?
I said that I wasn't tired or something. I don't remember. Like, I'm fine. I said that I'm fine.
Yeah,
Well,
Buhd was asking.
The last thing I heard was Shallan was being led outside, and Buhd was asking, "What are they doing? Are they doing with Shallan?" That's the last thing I heard.
Ah,
Yeah, and Captain ignored Buhd, and Buhd was like, "You should have slept. You should have slept," because Buhd thinks he's trying to sleep.
Okay. You guys will see Shallan being led into like the captain's quarters, alongside the Gnome Lady and the two members of the crew.
Alright.
Are they gonna hurt him?
I don't know. I don't really care.
He part of crew.
You know, I don't know, bud. I like crazy people, you know. They are interesting, but I think that Shallan, he's a bit too much, even for me. He's insane.
He our friend. He always crazy.
Well, friend is a strong word. We only know him for like what, 4 days? Or
You only know Bud for 4 days, and you'll be Bud's friend.
yeah.
I honestly thought it froze again.
I think it did for like a bit.
Did you say that I only know you for 4 days, Skoll?
But Bud's saying it like if you only knew Bud for 4 days, you would be Bud's friend.
Oh. Yeah, of course. Sure. But you know,
Be a friend with Shallan.
I don't know. I'm tired, bud. I
Go
don't
take
have
a
the
nap,
energy
you grouchy.
yeah. I don't have the energy to deal with him now.
Go take a nap then.
Alright.
Also, at this point, you guys would see Benjamin presumably walk above deck.
But after Bud would wave at Benjamin, obviously.
He just nods back.
People grouchy today.
Just to like let you know what the rest of the NPCs are doing, like I said, the first mate and two members of the crew went with Shallan into the captain's quarters. The actual quote-unquote captain, the Vraiku, is giving orders from like the steering wheel of the ship. The various members of the crew are doing their duty. The Archmage Lady is once again staring off into the distance from one of the sides of the ship, and the Pandaren is grumbling in a corner. Oh, I was unjustly arrested. How dare they? Blah blah blah. If you guys want to like interact with them.
Bud would go over to the Reichel man, because they buddies.
Sure, I guess. He's busy, but he does stop what he's doing when he sees you approach. He sort of like crosses his arms sort of defensively, and he will say, "Well,
How doing?
I should ask you that. How doing? You did spend the night in our brig."
Bud a little sore, but Bud relieves self. Bud is all empty now. Oh, good.
The Vraiku will chuckle and say, "So, did you do it?"
Did Bud do what?
He will sort of like motion to his neck like someone slicing the neck. You know, like in that threatening manner, but not actually threatening you.
Bud no kill. Bud hasn't killed anything since Kraken or Kokran.
That was not that long ago.
Did he say that, or was that?
Yeah, the first mate said that.
Yeah, but Bud not kill since then.
The first mate will chuckle, and then he will say, "So who do you think did it?"
Bud not sure, but Bud might think that crazy panda man or banana mask man might do it.
He seems confused when you say banana mask man. He does not know who you're talking about.
He wear a red mask on face.
Oh, Hergen. He can be a bit of an odd one, but he is no murderer. Not anymore, at least.
So he was a murderer.
Well, he was a Defias. You know of the Defias.
Bud thinks Bud knows Captain Cookie.
Honestly, did not expect you to say that. He will say, I shall have to meet this Captain Cookie.
But not sure he okay. But lots of Murlocs not okay nowadays.
Well, why don't you go ask Hergen over there what's up with Captain Cookie?
That sounded like a good idea.
Okay. The Raikou will nod at you. Do you like go to talk to the Mass Defias guy?
Yeah, he waves goodbye to his Raikou friend and goes to find the masks dude.
The Raikou will give you a nod. Before you reach him, Benjamin, are you doing something in particular?
Not necessarily. I'm just kind of, also staring off at sea and thinking for a bit.
Okay. Bladebeard, you said you were going to sleep, correct?
Yeah, unless he's like approached by someone,
Okay.
he is probably going to fall asleep.
Okay. So Bud, you approach this masked human who looks really wary when you approach and sort of puts his hand on his dagger, like ready to pull it out if necessary.
Would Bud notice that?
Yeah. He's like giving you a message of don't try anything.
No need for weapons, but here to talk.
So your name's Bud.
That is Bud's name. Bud was called it when Bud visit Goblin Town. Bud was also called Bub, but Bud like Bud better.
Name's Hergen. He doesn't like extend his hand to like shake yours. He still like sort of keeps his hand on his dagger, and he sort of justifies it by saying, well, they say you killed someone.
Bud only killed the Corcoran and almost the Kraken and some Naga recently, but Bud no kill anyone on ship besides the Corcoran men.
The fact that you killed so many of the Corcoran and drove off the Kraken is the main reason my dagger is not pulled out right now. But you understand why I'm a bit cautious.
That okay. So you know Captain Cookie?
He looks a bit confused by that question. He says, I don't, out of all the people who have inquired about my past, I don't think anyone has ever asked about Captain Cookie.
Bud meet him once in Westfall. He seemed nice. Make Bud nice too.
Oh, so you were in Westfall. How'd you keep your gold?
Bud no have any gold.
How'd you keep your head then?
Bud is strong.
Killed any, and he sort of points to like his bandana. Not bandana, his mask.
Bud no think so.
I should hope not. Well, the Defias may have fallen on hard times, but they still mean something to me.
So is Captain Cookie okay? Or,
He replies by saying,
oh. He good chef. That's sad.
died with Van Cleef from what I've heard. No, I haven't been to the dead mines since. Nasty business.
But here that's how Buhd became friends with them after Dead Mine incident.
He will give you a look. Like, go on, what do you mean?
He live on and become captain, and better chef.
Oh. Out of character, I forgot that Cookie was not a captain before Cataclysm.
It was after. It was before Cataclysm. No, yeah, it was after Cataclysm. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. In character, this guy will shake his head and say, I haven't been to the dead mine since Van Cleef bid it. I heard there was something happening. So you're saying Cookie was responsible?
But not sure. Buhd meet him in Westfall and have meal, and he talk gibberish in Murloc, but no understand that. So Buhd become friend with him, and he go back to dead miney business.
The Hergun will slowly nod and he'll say, well, I guess after this whole demon business is over, I should go back and give Cookie a visit.
Maybe he doing better. Or worse. Or...
Hopefully not.
But hope so too. But like his soup.
He will look at you and say, so, are you with the Horde?
Horde not so good after all.
I agree there. No, I think the Alliance is worse. Or Stormwind at the very least.
Buhd no part of any bannerisms. Buhd is his own Buhd.
So what those tattoos on you mean?
Oh, nice pirate men give those to Buhd.
He will nod and say, so pirate, are you with the Bloodsail Buccaneers?
Buhd not think Buhd is a bloodsail. Captain remember name better than Buhd does.
The Bloodsails came to the dead mines once, almost killed Van Cleef.
Oh.
By the way, this is actually canon.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I knew that.
Yeah. Hergun will then say, I've never liked pirates since then. They came in, made a mess, killed a bunch of people. Killed Sneed too, if you can believe it. But Van Cleef survived.
Buhd is a good pirate. Buhd only fight and kill when Buhd need to.
Only a good pirate is a dead pirate in my book. And he will...
Well...
Go ahead.
Well, Buhd not dead.
So, what sort of pirating do you do then? You will notice that he has not let go of the dagger on his hip.
Buhd and Bladebeard usually travel a lot. It not been so good since he lost crew. It mostly been small work. Recent work was bodyguarding auction thing, and that not go so well either.
Yeah, I heard. You mean that infamous auction, right?
Yes, that incident. Lots of people die and burn and bad stuff.
So how'd you end up here?
Shenanigans. Buhd travel on boat with crazy person. Buhd saved day a lot. Buhd bring boat. Crazy person on boat. Crazy person turned out to be Shalon. Shalon, good friend. Buhd find Twinkles And Twinkles, come and join us too. He seemed
Hergun
nice.
will like raise his hand and say, "Stop, stop! I'm already lost. I don't know these people."
Twinkles is Benjamin.
Hergun will nod very slowly as if, yeah, I'm totally supposed to know that person.
Anyway, he joined crew too, and we all go together. And we also encounter two pretty ladies. Pretty troll lady who like Benjamin a lot, and pretty mage lady who also like Benjamin a lot. Bud's pretty jealous.
Is this pre-mage lady, he sort of like nods in the direction of Meridia, who you will see is like staring off into the distance.
Yeah, not her.
Is she the killer?
But no think so. She used magic to kill usually. This seemed more daggerish.
I was the one who had to clean up the mess, you know? That... There was nothing left of the body except bones and a bunch of gore. I think there was some magic involved.
Maybe it was her, but no think so. But then again, lots of friends that would like turn out to be dirtbags.
I can relate to that. But us dirtbags have to stick together, I guess.
That sound good to Bud.
That's why I'm on this ship. Think it's the only escape I could find after Van Cleef.
Bud not sure if Bud have escape. Bud just here because Bud need company. Bud go out for a long while when Bud leave Teeironor.
Never heard of the place. I was born and raised in Westfall. Well, except for, you know, when the orcs came and all that. And then, when the darn nobles refused to pay for Stormwood's reconstruction, I joined the Defias, as you can see, and he sort of points at his mask.
Oh, you get nice red mask of joining Defias.
He will nod and say, "You know who the Defias are, right?"
Bud does now.
Cookie is a Defias.
Oh,
I don't think he wears a mask though.
no, he wear captain hat.
I should get back to work.
Okay.
He sort of starts moving away from you, but still like facing you, like I'm prepared if you are going to try anything.
Bud kind of just waves goodbye.
Okay. Benjamin, what are you doing in this meantime?
I guess I'm still staring off at the sea, to be honest.
Okay. You will notice the mage lady approach you. Do you let her?
Yeah, I turn to her and finally ready to say what's been bothering you?
Besides the whole falsely accused of murder thing.
Well, aside from that.
I actually wanted to ask you something. When we found, you know, she sort of motions as if like clawing at her own eyes, as if like when we found that. You mentioned that you saw something like that before.
Well, I happened to meet a goblin who gouged his eyes out.
Why? Why did he gouge his eyes out?
Well, how do I put this? Remember the whole knife thing, right?
Yes.
Well, this guy, was kind of bothering Buhd and Bladebeard, so I kind of asked the knife to, get them out of that situation, and one thing led to another, I guess.
She looks very thoughtful at that.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I kind of felt quite bad afterwards. I can still kind of see Isila's face when I close my eyes, but you know,
Casually traumatizing my player characters as a DM.
exactly.
Sorry. She will also chuckle for a little bit and say, I can imagine that. So can you tell me more about this sentient knife thing that apparently sprouted legs and walked off somewhere?
Well, I can tell you it's strangely friendly, but in a devious way. It's hard to explain. I only just noticed it after being separated with it, but it's like it convinces you to
Hello?
mentions.
Sorry. You
It's
froze for a little bit. You froze for a little bit. Could you?
where did I freeze?
You said that it convinces you too, and that's where you froze.
I was saying that it almost convinces you to do stuff that you normally wouldn't. It's kind of hard to explain, but all I'm saying is it's bad business.
Hmm. How does it convince you exactly? Because I to be perfectly honest, though I don't entirely trust you, I also don't see you as the type to pull someone's eyes out.
Thank you, I guess. It's hard to explain it, but it's like it knows you and how to convince you. It's very eerie. I don't know how else to explain it.
She will look very thoughtful at your response and sort of not say anything in reply.
Have you felt something like that?
No, I'm just. This seems. I just like to prevent any further deaths. Because apparently we have a knife on the rampage on this ship.
Well, you and me both.
I wanted to ask you something else. What do you think of dragons?
Well, for one, they're dangerous and scary.
Benjamin wouldn't know like the differences between like the dragonflights, etc. No, right? Did you hear me?
I did.
I did.
Thompshire.
Uh-oh.
I propose that so we don't like waste time that we have like a Buhd or Bladebeard scene while we wait for Thompshire to return. Do you guys agree?
All right.
Okay. Bladebeard, you're still sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay. Buhd, so what are you doing now that you've been sort of dismissed by Hergen?
He's gonna go check on his good old captain friend, the cooking friend, rather.
Okay, you find him at his like usual cooking spot, stirring his ingredients as usual. But when you approach, he tenses off and like backs off for a little bit.
How doing?
Doing good. Did you kill him?
Bud no kill him.
Her. Well,
Bud no kill her.
I figured it wasn't you. If it were you, I imagine you would have left something behind to eat.
Probably.
So who did it?
Bud not sure. Masky men think that it was magic. Which means there are only magic people who could have done it. Which might mean Shalon, might mean Major Lady, or might mean somebody else.
Well, it'd not be me. If it were me, I would have also left some pieces to... He like makes a motion of like munching, eating.
Yeah, but no thank you at all.
So what's up now that you'll be free? Well, for the moment at least.
But not sure. But not a detective.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I'll just be cooking my food. Although I think we be out of, yesterday's spice.
Yeah, that's sad.
Well, I can cook with the more typical civilized, as they say it, cooking, and he visibly rolls his eyes. Back home I used to be eating dwarfs all the time, griffins all the time. Now they don't let me.
That's sad. But no think nobody does that to Bud. Nobody stop Bud from munching.
Well, you be big and strong, I be just me.
Oh, you look strong.
He like makes a mock flexing motion. And he will ask, so what did you be, munching on before wherever you come from?
But not sure.
Sorry, I was just checking Discord. And you say, so it be your first time eating heads?
Bud think Bud eat head first time at Booty Bay. But nobody ever give Bud heads to eat.
Oh, I didn't know that Booty Baby that accepting of a place. After the whole demon thing be over, maybe I open a shop there.
Bud got them from nice trolls from jungle.
Gurubashi.
Yeah, good Gorobashi. Bud make good friends. Dead.
I no be liking them too much. Maybe Booty Baby a bad place after all.
Oh, that's sad.
You know how it be. They be having their own empire and their own law, and they keep blabbing on about Hakar this, Hakar that. Me tribe no want to do anything with Hakar, you know how it be.
Bud not know how it be, but it sound rough.
Yeah. Where be your clan?
Bud think Bud come from Dire Mall, but Bud have recent memories of Draenor. So maybe Bud come from there too.
Oh. Really? What do they be eating on Draenor?
Bud no remember. Bud got bonked on head, Bud thinks. And Bud no remember so good.
No. Well, if you be having any, recipe recommendations, feel free to come to me.
Bud will bring you good recipes if Bud remembers.
And if you be having any, ingredients ready in your travels, you can bring them to me. And we can share in the
Nice.
food,
Spice.
Yeah, spice. And he'll give you a wink.
gives a wink back.
um, he'll say, that friend of yours, the dwarf, uh, he be smelling too much of alcohol and sea salt, but if you want, I can be cooking him too.
Who we cooking?
Your dwarf friend.
Oh no. He Bud's friend. Even if he's stinky and grouchy and selfish and take things without asking and cause trouble for Bud and everyone. But he's still Bud's captain.
Yeah, that'd be like the dwarves in my homeland. Stinky, selfish, take what they want, and he sort of like spits on the ground.
Yeah, but he help Bud sometimes. When Bud no think so good, he think for Bud. And sometimes that help Bud have good time. Other times not so good, but that life.
Yeah, me older brother be a witch doctor, and I be following him too. But I decided I wanted to see the world, try out the delicacies of the world, and I've eaten gnome things, human things, orc things. I tried some gurubashi recently, that was good, but don't let the crew know this.
Bud keep secret.
Yeah. I recommend the gnome if you be into more. How do you call it? He says a term in Zandali that you don't understand.
Bud look at gnomes before. They no look so good. Too little meat, too tiny.
Yeah. I be half tempted to eat the first mate, but first mate, I gotta be respecting that, you know how it be.
Ah, Bud be a first mate too.
Oh, really? Where be a ship?
Oh, it got destroyed by mean orc lady.
And your captain?
That the dwarf.
The dwarf be a captain.
Yeah, he's Bud's captain.
The troll starts laughing at you. A big strong ogre be taking ogres from a tiny tasty dwarf thing.
That's how things work out for Bud. Bud, see Captain. At one point, Bud and Captain become friends. Get offered job as pirate. Bud become first mate. Good times.
You're back, Thompshire?
Yeah.
I would propose, should we continue the Thompshire scene?
Yeah, sure.
Do you mind the Skoll?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Last we left off, the Archmage asked you what you think of dragons.
Well, for one, they're dangerous and scary. And I've had more than my deal of dealings with them in these last few days.
Oh?
Well, since you missed our little adventure in that Goblin town, I kind of met a dragon.
I saw two of them fighting during the general
yes,
chaos.
but personally met one of them.
The blue one or the dark gray one?
The sparkly dark one. Nasty person, I think, if you can call it that.
I don't know if you know this, but a few years ago during the war against the Lich King, the Blue Dragons waged a massive war against the Teeironor. You will see the Archmage look somewhat angry, and she will say, I lost many of my friends then, and, well, to be perfectly frank, I don't quite like them.
Well, as long as you don't gouge their eyes out, I guess your grudge is justified.
She will chuckle for a little bit and say, I think there is a blue dragon aboard this ship.
Oh. Why do you think so?
Call it a hunch.
Huh.
You know how they can disguise themselves as mortals.
Well, I've seen that myself.
Don't you think it's odd that when she will like gesture towards the rest of the crew, that so many people of various different races that would ordinarily kill and even eat each other, she like makes a head gesture towards Buhd and the forest troll. Don't you think it's odd that they all mysteriously get along?
Well, I'd say this kind of restores my faith in the world, but you bring a point there.
She will say, I obviously can't take this dragon alone. Can I count on your help?
Well, that would be another problem I wouldn't like putting on my plate.
Trust me, dragons are evil. If we don't deal with this one, she'll be our problem whether we like it or not.
No, it's a she? How do you know that?
I think I know who this dragon is masquerading as.
Well, you're doing some detective work that you should spend on finding out who got someone's eyes out.
She will say, magical disguises are more of the forte of a mage than solving murder mysteries, as you can imagine.
Well, I'd say uncovering disguises is, but you know.
Well, that's what she said.
Oh, I thought she said disguising. Oops.
Uncovering disguises.
Oh, okay. I thought. Okay, I didn't hear that bit.
Okay.
I guess I'll just reply. Well, I've experienced that myself.
She will chuckle and like glance at your arm and say, I think I still have the mark I placed on you. That was some good work back in Booty Bay, noticing what I was about to do.
Well, I guess I've trained my reflexes over the years.
She will give you a nod and say, if I force the dragon to reveal itself, will you help me bring it down?
I'd rather give it a chance before we actually try committing murder.
What do you mean a chance? Dragons are vile creatures who would kill and eat us if they had the chance to. This one is obviously manipulating us for some nefarious purpose of theirs.
Well, if not for said dragon, I'd probably be burned to a crisp back in that goblin town.
You are the ones who drove the Kraken away, not the blue dragon.
Well, the one who drove the other dragon away was a dragon as well.
The Archmage will sigh, and she will say, come on, you just escaped one manipulating influence, according to what you're telling me. Don't you want to eliminate a more imminent danger?
Well, I'd rather not eliminate something that could be dangerous instead of something that is. Unless I get a confirmation that we're actually being manipulated, I'd rather not act on it.
So what do you plan to do when this dragon reveals itself and says, haha, you've been my pawns all along?
Well, I'll unsheath my sword for one.
It's her that's laughing at this, and she will say, no, we need to take it by surprise. You don't win against a dragon head on, not unless you're a guardian or something.
Well, I've never tried, so...
The Archmage will sigh and say, think about what I said, please. For the sake of this entire crew, I should add.
I just sigh and say I'll think on it, but no promises.
She will give you like a meaningful look and start walking away unless you like stop her.
No, I don't.
Going back to Buhd, yeah, what are you and the Forest Troll doing right now? The Forest Troll would be focusing on his cooking, but if you want to talk to him, he'll talk back.
When you think food be ready?
Supper be at supper time, as usual. No sooner, no later.
Ah, okay.
You be a big man. I know you be needing to eat more, but under other circumstances, maybe. But now the crew think you murder someone. Not look good if you eat more than them. You know how it be.
Yeah. But always hungry.
We only be a few days away from port. We can find something there, I suppose.
But see you around then, chef.
He will give you a nod and continue stirring his pot.
Alright, Bud goes wander about the ship some more then.
Okay. Also, as always, you guys are entirely welcome to say, let's fast forward and like progress until like the evening or the next day, etc., etc. If you don't want to like have any on-screen interactions.
Okay.
Alright.
Let me know what you guys want to do.
I guess like Bladebeard will wake up after, I don't know, a few hours.
Okay, so it will be say afternoon then, and you
Yeah.
like wake up, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself on the deck of this ship with the crew minding its business but giving you like a wide berth.
Alright. I'm going to approach Vera, the
Yeah.
undead lady,
Okay.
second mate.
When she sees you approach, she draws her sword. She does not like point it at you, but she keeps it ready.
Hey! I was the one who told you about the murder. I mean,
In my eyes, you're still a suspect.
yeah, I understand. I just wanted to say that I would like to join the Night's Watch.
That is not going to happen.
Well, you can't prevent me from sleeping, from being awake. So I just want to let you know that I'm gonna be watching.
You are free to be awake at that hour, but we will be watching you.
Yeah,
I will
sure.
be watching you.
I hope so.
She gives you a brisk nod. No offense, but obviously we can't be too careful.
Yeah, I get it.
She like,
So no progress on the murder, I assume.
I don't see a reason why I should tell a suspect about the details of an investigation.
Alright. I walk away.
She sheaves her sword back. Not very friendly today. Since we fast forwarded a bit, it's afternoon right now. Benjamin, Buhd, what are you guys doing? If you want to like continue with like an afternoon scene.
I don't think I have anything in particular to do.
Okay.
And Bud is just really just wandering her about the ship. You know, all curious like and just waving at people. He doesn't really have anything to ask them at the moment, unless they ask him anything.
No, they will definitely avoid you. Bladebeard?
Nothing really. Um, just
Um,
wait for night to come.
well, before night, when you like take, when you find yourself like in a more isolated place while you're walking on the ship, you will see the Archmage approaching you.
Oh, Meridia.
Captain Bladebeard, I'd like to discuss something with you.
Yeah, sure.
You are the typical swashbuckling pirate captain in search of glory and riches, etc., correct?
Yeah, that's very perceptive of you.
What if I told you you had the chance to slay a dragon?
Yeah, there was a dragon in that goblin town, but I haven't seen them since
Two,
then.
well, two actually, and one of them is in disguise on this ship.
Is it the dark iron dwarf?
The other one.
Oh, what is he disguised as?
She, um, well, would you help me in killing this menace?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a dragon. We need to get rid of it.
She'll like whisper to you, it's the first mate of the crew, the little gnome lady, dressed in blue like the scales of that azure menace.
Oh, how do you? Can you sense that, or how do you know?
Well, I am an archmage of the Teeironor. I have my resources.
Makes sense. Yeah. So, are we, when do you plan to kill her? Kill it?
We should find a moment where it is unsuspecting and vulnerable. In the night, perhaps? I'm not certain. Do you have any suggestions?
Maybe prepare like buckets of water. You know,
Buckets
since
of
they are
water.
breathing fire.
No, blue dragons breathe frost.
Oh,
But
I
it's if we catch them by surprise, and if I manage to land a hit on it, I imagine it will be incapacitated quickly enough.
all right. I mean, who else is on your side? Who else is in on this plan?
I've only talked to Benjamin so far. He is hesitating. He will protect us and the greater good, and he obviously sees dragons as the menace that they are. But he does not want to go on the offensive. He does not realize that if we don't, the dragon will subjugate us and do with us whatever she wants.
Should we tell the captain, the first mate,
No,
who
no.
is pretending to?
He's
No?
probably in on it. Let's be honest. Look at this diverse crew. We have forest trolls, undead, orcs, humans, all of them working together. Only a dragon's influence could achieve something like this.
I mean, my crew was and still is, because it still exists. It was pretty diverse.
Yes, but you were interested in robbing people. You had a common goal. These are just thralls, basically. Slaves.
Oh, so you think that the dragon mind controlled them?
And she's planning to do the same with the rest of us. I'm certain of that.
Yeah, I have experience with mind controlling captains. Yeah, sure. We will kill the dragon and save them.
What do you propose? Should we strike at night? When should we strike?
Hmm.
And should we get your friends in on this? I don't trust getting any of the members of the crew on it. So I suppose the options would be your friends, the elf, and the Pandaren.
Well, I guess if they see us planning something and attacking one of their own, we are suspects to a murder.
So I propose that us, well, suspects as we were thrown in the brig, band together and fight this dragon. Maybe this whole murder was a staged thing by this dragon made to turn us against each other to more easily manipulate us.
Maybe. So, we just attack the gnome and she will turn into a dragon.
Well, if she intends to keep her life, definitely. I need to get an opportune time to strike her. I have a method which will certainly cripple her. But I need the proper opportunity to do so. Can you... Well, first, let's gather maybe your ogre friend or the Pandaren to help us. Then drag her into an isolated place where we can strike. How does that sound?
Yeah, sure. Alright. I'll talk to Buhd.
And I will try to talk to the Pandaren. She gives you like a conspiratorial nod.
Yeah, I give her a wink.
She makes a slight disgusted face at your wink, but nods nevertheless and moves away.
Alright, I guess I find Buhd.
Okay. She will go and talk to the Pandaren. So, Bladebeard, you presumably go and find Buhd. Benjamin, would you notice this like commotion, or are you like distracted by your own thoughts?
Did we lose Thompshire?
Oh, sorry again. The push to talk. I'm essentially a bit lost in thought.
Okay. So I guess let's have like a Buhd and Bladebeard scene.
Hey, Buhd.
Oh, hi, Captain. What doing?
Nothing, nothing fun really. Apparently there is a monster on this ship, so just be
Monster?
ready to fight. Yeah,
Bud talk and ask around. Masked man think that magic kill orc lady.
yeah, maybe this, it's a dragon, by the way. Maybe
A
this dragon. Yeah. Shh. Be quiet. Don't talk with anyone about this, alright?
How would dragon fit on tiny ship?
Remember that dark Aaran, that Shatterhand orc that we saw?
Sorry.
That we saw in.
Bud remember him.
You remember him?
Yeah. Bud get shirt out of it.
Yeah, he turned into. Well, I gave you a shirt.
Yeah, you give Bud shirt with crazy man follow after you.
Yeah. And he turned into a dragon. You remember that?
Yeah. Yes. Bud remember differently. Bud thought you about dragon.
What did he do?
Bud thought he poop out dragon.
Oh, well, there might be a person on this ship that will also poop up a dragon, alright?
Oh, how you eat a dragon?
I guess we will find out soon.
Oh. Is the dragon bad?
Of course.
Oh,
Have you ever, you never saw a dragon before, I guess.
but
They
saw
are,
that. But saw that dragon.
yeah. But dragons are bad guys. They
They all are
work.
bad.
What?
They're all bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, you said that you heard some stories about those Arkoa people from your world. Well, when I was little, we told stories about dragons and how evil they are.
oh, so we
They
gotta fight an
also,
evil dragon.
yeah, they also fought with the orcs and ogres when they invaded our world. So I don't believe they still work with the Horde, but they used to.
But no remember dragons working with Horde, but no remember so good.
Yeah, you don't remember anything really, but yeah.
Not true.
I mean that black dragon, the Dark Iron Dwarf, he uh, he remembered you. I don't think we ever talked about that. He
But
was,
no, have no memory of tiny dwarf man. Besides you,
yeah. Well, if we ever meet him again, we will ask him before we kill him, of course.
that sound good, the bud.
So just be prepared. Be prepared to fight.
But always ready to fight. That's why Bud carry cannon around.
Yeah. All right. Um. Let's eat.
Well, it's not quite supper time yet. And the Archmage did imply that you guys should like do the thing sooner rather than later.
Hey, bud. Go and meet up with Meridia, the pretty mage lady, how you call her.
Pretty majorly.
Yeah. I'm going to do some of detective work myself, and then I'm going to rejoin you. All right.
Sound good.
Okay.
I would.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Just go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to find the gnome, if I can. Kizzy.
Yeah. What do you guys think should happen first? Bud meeting with the Archmage or Bladebeard meeting with Kizzy? You guys decide.
I guess Bud. That's closer. Maybe.
Okay. Bud, you see the Archmage talking with the Pandaren, which is probably something you never expected to see.
Oh, that's weird.
Do you approach them?
Yeah.
Okay. They will both look at you when you approach, and the Archmage will say, "Did Bladebeard tell you?"
He talked about dragon getting pooped out, and we need to fight dragon.
The Pandaren would say, "Well, you're right about the second half at least." The Archmage will sigh and say, "The current plan is that we lure the dragon, who is disguised as someone in this crew, to an isolated place. Do you think Bladebeard can convince her to come with?
Maybe. He's kind of, well, he's sometimes good at things, and other times he's not so good.
The Archmage will say, if I cannot risk going myself, the dragon might sense my intentions beforehand because of our attunement to magic and all that. So I think it's either Bladebeard, or if you think you can do it, or him. She motions to the Pandaren.
Buhd can try.
Tell her, well, get her to meet us in the food stores. We'll wait there.
Who Buhd talking to?
The Archmage and the Pandaren will like shake.
No.
Huh?
Okay. Go ahead. I wasn't sure.
The Archmage and the Pandaren will like sure looked as if should we tell him, and the Archmage will shrug and say, "The dragon is the little gnome."
Oh.
So, please go and bring her. Try to be subtle to the food stores where we will be waiting, and or let Bladebeard know about this and let him handle it. We need to move quickly before it becomes too dangerous for everyone here.
That's some good, Buhd. Go find, little gnome.
The Archmage and the Pandaren will give you a nod and start shuffling to the food stores. Meanwhile, well, before we move to Bladebeard, I want to give Benjamin a chance to like also intervene in this scene. Do you notice like the commotion?
I guess I noticed something in the corner of my eye.
Who do you think you would notice? Like which exchange?
Who is closest to me?
Where would you be on the ship?
I'd probably be like on one of the sides of the deck, just sitting on the edge of the ship.
Then you would probably notice Buhd and Bladebeard talking, and then them moving in different directions. And depending on which one you follow with your gaze, you would see who they would be talking to.
I guess I'd follow Bladebeard since he's the most suspicious.
Okay. Before that, Bladebeard, you go and find the Gnome Lady. She would be in the captain's quarters with Shallan.
The door is open, or
It's closed, presumably not locked, but you feel free to try.
can I look through a window or something? Does
There aren't any windows. Well, not any transparent ones, at least.
I return to the to Meridia.
What a brave man you are. Okay, so I guess this means that because both Buhd and Benjamin are going to find Bladebeard, and Bladebeard is sort of moving in their direction, that you three will meet each other.
Well, Bud's gonna go find the gnome lady. He's going to Bladebeard.
Oh, I thought you were going to Bladebeard, but it's still the same direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the three of you would meet. I allow you guys to like establish the order in which you meet, or if you meet at the same time.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess me and Benjamin run into each other first.
Bladebeard?
Benjamin, Aaran,
seem suspicious.
I always do.
That's a good point, actually.
Are you in on our huge problem on this ship?
No, I'm not. I'd rather not go about and killing people that could be a problem.
Oh, so you don't believe Meridia?
It's not that I don't believe her. I just think she's not thinking straight. It's been a while since we've had, a calm night of sleep.
But what if she's right? She's a.
And
I
what
guess
if she
you're.
isn't?
Then we will realize that this person is just a normal person, and
Well, wonderful. Oh, I just shot you with shame.
what?
Bud, by the way, Bud, you are free to intervene whenever you want.
What is here? What's going on?
Um, Benjamin doesn't want to try and kill a monster.
But look at me. Remember when we were in the Goblin Town, right?
What?
Who saved us from the big black dragon?
The nice blue dragon.
And who does really want to kill?
Is the nice blue dragon the same as the poop dragon?
That's what I'm assuming.
So, it's not a bad dragon?
Yeah, how do you know that the blue dragon is not bad?
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not gonna kill someone because they may be bad.
I mean, have you ever heard stories about dragons? Have you ever faced a dragon?
Well, we have.
And they were evil.
Well, again, I'll reiterate, one of them kind of saved us.
Have you heard what was going on like a year ago with huge dragons wanting to destroy the world?
Well, have you heard about orcs who invaded our world and murdered tons
I mean-
of people? We're standing by a crew with orcs too. Do you want to kill them?
I mean, orcs are different, Orcs are just people. Dragons are monsters.
What's the difference?
If nice gnome, if gnome is not evil or mean, then isn't it a nice person?
Benjamin, you have just discovered that the supposed dragon is the gnome.
I guess that makes sense. That's what he thinks to himself. He doesn't actually say that.
Well, it can be pretending that it's a good person.
But again, it could not be pretending.
I mean, I never heard of a good dragon. There's no such
I
thing.
haven't heard of many dragons personally, so I can't say, and neither should you.
What if that kraken was good?
Well, it attacked us, and we defended ourselves. If the dragon attacks us,
Benjamin, by the way, just this is above board information. You're free to disregard it if you don't think it's important, but because you are like a veteran of Stormwind, you would have been there for the whole Onyxia incident.
fair enough. But what I kind of meant is that I haven't met a dragon,
Okay. Up to you how you interpret that. Yeah.
Where was I?
Sorry.
Even if the dragon is good, I mean, it's a dragon. Their body parts are pretty expensive, pretty they worth a lot.
Well, Buhd is also big, and it would hurt if he smacked me. Is he evil?
What is not bad? What is good?
Look,
This
Buhd,
is
we should just, the three of us, we should just go speak to the first mate and clear everything up, okay?
That sounds like a good idea, the Buhd.
And if she's evil, Buhd can shoot her with his cannon, and all things will be okay.
yeah. I actually that's a good idea. Let's talk with her first.
But let's not talk to Meridia first. Let's go straight to first mate.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You guys, the last time you like saw the first mate was going with Shallan into the captain's quarters. Benjamin knows why, Bladebeard and Buhd don't.
I guess that's not very relevant information, so I just lead the way to the quarters.
Okay. The door is closed.
I knock on the door.
You hear like some shuffling, and after like a few seconds, the Gnome Lady opens and says, "Oh, hello."
Do you have a few moments?
Oh, yes. She like exits the captain's quarters and closes the door behind her.
Well, maybe we should enter. It's a bit of a private topic.
Is this regarding your friend?
Not necessarily.
She gives you a look, but in this trio, you're the only one she like trusts, Benjamin. But since like you're getting the initiative, she will nod and like let you guys in. As you guys enter, you will see Shallan like sitting in one of the chairs, looking kind of nonchalant, and he will look up at you guys and say, "Oh, greetings, friends."
Hi, Shalon. We here to
Hello.
talk about a dragon poop.
A dragon poop?
Yeah.
Is that tasty?
No. Bud try eating poop once. It not taste good.
But please, could we have that conversation later?
That sound good to Bud. Bud want to talk about the dragon poop anyways.
Well, getting to the chase, I hate to ask this directly, but
The gnome,
are you a dragon?
I was just going to say that the gnome also sits in like a chair before you ask. So you ask her.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, I guess.
And she like she like motions to you guys to also sit.
Yeah, okay. We sit first.
Bud sits on the floor.
Okay. She will ask. So now, what makes you say that?
Well, again, not cutting any corners. Do you remember our archmage acquaintance?
Yes.
Well, put simply, she thinks you're a dragon and that you're a danger to all of us.
Well, she is half right. I am a dragon, but I'm not a danger to any of you.
Well, the thing is, she's pretty set on all dragons being evil, and the fact that you are controlling everyone in this crew and that you want to control us as well. And I'm not necessarily sure how to convince her otherwise.
You are entirely.
Wait,
Go ahead.
did you just say that you are a dragon?
Yes. My name is Kirigosa. Kyrigosa, sorry.
Oh, Kyrie. That's kind of similar to the captain's name.
Yes. You see like a brief flash. She's like briefly changes her form to like the goblin captain, but reverts quickly back to the gnome form and gives you all like a playful wink.
Oh wait, so you're still alive?
Well, obviously, did you see me die?
No,
Though
I
that
thought
kraken
that.
did give me a good smack, what can I say?
Oh, I actually thought that Gurves, or the first mate, that he killed you, and so he could become a captain.
Oh, no, no, no. Despite his demeanor and his initial encounter with you, Mr. Ogre, he's actually a very kind-hearted man.
Oh, so are you? Wait, are you a gnome or a goblin or a dragon?
A dragon in disguise as a gnome or a goblin or any other race I wish.
Any race?
Well, I
Alright.
I
Yeah.
typically don't enjoy disguising myself as, say, Forsaken or Quilboar. I especially, well, I had some bad experiences and I don't really like disguising myself as a human either. No offense to you, Benjamin, obviously. I know not all humans are like that, but, you know,
Well, let's say I also disguise myself sometimes, so I understand somehow.
yes. I usually
So do
prefer
I.
I usually prefer a gnome disguise.
Uh, so what are we doing? So you say you are a good dragon?
Well, good is relative. I try to be good and to do the best that I can. As
Are
to what you
you?
mentioned earlier about the people on the ship, you're free to ask them. I don't force them to be here. I just try to offer a home for people who have lost theirs or who are seeking something new.
Hmm, yeah, I can respect that. That's kind of what I do.
I just do a light. I chuckle lightly.
You do what?
I chuckle
Oh,
lightly
okay,
at
okay.
what Bladebeard said.
But you are also in this scene if you like want to react.
Can you prove that you are a dragon?
Well, if I were to transform here, I imagine it would wreck this room.
Can you breathe fire?
Frost and arcane magic. A fire is not really my preferred type of magic, to be honest.
Well, taking into account you spent so much time on a ship, that makes sense.
She gives you a wink, Benjamin. So, I have to ask, what prompted this line of inquiry?
Well, skipping all the side talk, again, it goes back to our archmage friend wanting to murder you before you mind control us or something of the sort.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Well, despite life and kindness is usually the domain of red dragons, not blue dragons, but I don't have any ill will towards her, even if she intends to kill me. Though I do
Wait,
find it, I, uh, I should say that our flight did have conflicts with the Kirintor before. I was personally against those conflicts, but regardless, my flight killed many of the Kirintor, and I can understand her hurt, and I certainly don't blame her for it.
so wait, you also consider um, red dragons as being good?
Oh, generally speaking. And again, good is relative, but their domain is life and the protection of life, nurturing life. So,
Yeah, I thought that their domain was fire and burning ships and killing alliance.
another unfortunate conflict with the mortal races. That time though, not of their own free will.
This is very confusing. I mean, you are not killing us, so I guess you are good.
I have no reason to kill you.
What if you get hungry?
She like waves her fingers, and before your eyes you see some food appear, a plate of food appear. Blue dragons are masters of arcane magic.
Bud wants to do that.
No, wait, bud. Don't eat anything. Maybe it's
Bud
poison.
is hungry.
Yeah.
I'm just face palming at this point.
She will like float up the plate of food on the table, so it's in reach of any of you. You're free to take. You're also free not to take.
Takes and starts eating immediately.
I'm going to wait to see what happens to Bud.
Bud eats an entire chicken whole and some roast pork and whatever. Do you eat vegetables?
Yeah, Bud eats vegetables.
Okay.
He doesn't hate them.
And devours a plate full of vegetables and continues stuffing his face. So far, it's typical Bud.
Tastes good.
Do try not to tell Nazaga this. I try to let him continue with his fantasies.
Well, I do have to say, it still tasted a bit strange. I'm not sure why or with what, but
She will shrug and not say anything.
Bud like his spice. Very good.
Well, anyways, I think it would be just fair to warn you that there may be a murder attempt on you, and I have to admit something. Meridia has been acting very strange since the knife disappeared, and I'm having some suspicions, and I'm not sure what to think.
Do you think it's obvious what she's asking, but she does not like to say it?
I would hate to admit it, but this all seems to fit very strangely. I'm not sure how to say.
She will sigh and say, I saw that knife you mentioned less than a year ago, actually. She once again lifts up the collar on her neck to show you some visible wounds from chains. Benjamin, you would have already seen this, but Bladebeard and Bud, it's the first time you're seeing that she has scars from chains around her neck.
Wait, but this is just an illusion, right?
These scars persist no matter what form I take.
Oh,
I can even if I hide them, how should I say this? Even if I hide them so you can't see them, they are still there.
Alright. I guess kind of like Benjamin and his sorry excuse for a facial hair.
Come on, I thought you'd mention my scar.
She will chuckle and say, the person who did this to me did not wield that dagger, but he had the opportunity to do so. Surprisingly, even to me, he refused.
Wait, are we talking about the same dagger that Benjamin had?
If it is indeed the same dagger, according to how he described it to me.
and Shalan is afraid of it. He's not insane.
During this whole exchange, Shalon has like been looking between you two, like sort of exciting. Oh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And surprisingly, he does not seem frightened at the mention of the dagger. By the way,
He always scared of. Remember when Benjamin have it? He very scared of it.
Hey, Shalan, dagger, 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 dagger.
Captain.
Shalon will chuckle for a little bit, and the gnome will say, "Let's just say we're making progress on unraveling what happened to him, but there might be things that I cannot unravel just by myself."
Well, if your good intentions weren't proved until now, I guess this would be some solid proof.
Shalon will say,
So
"I've always wanted to have a dragon for a friend, though I never imagined it would be a blue one."
I always wanted to kill a dragon.
Bladebeard, that's kind of tone deaf.
Not for real. I mean, I'm not going to kill you. All right.
Kizzy the gnome will say, "Well, trust me, there are plenty of evil dragons that you are entirely free to kill. But back to the matter at hand, I'd like to nip the Archmage Meridia having a mysterious dagger problem in the bud before it becomes something too huge, I should say. Will you come with me?"
Well, I guess it's the only choice.
Maybe you shouldn't go and confront her. She thinks that you're evil, and she will probably attack you.
I imagine...
Well-
Go ahead.
If it's all of us, maybe she won't.
My goal is not to fight her or kill her, rather to either convince her to, if our suspicions are true, to convince her to give up this dagger, or take it from her and try to neutralize it somehow.
Well, again, this is merely, a hunch and not necessarily a certainty.
I can try and take it from her, steal it without her
Well,
noticing.
I think our past experiences have proven that that's not quite possible.
I think that would just make the situation worse, to be honest. No offense, I'm sure you are a master thief, but diplomacy would suit us better in these circumstances.
All right.
So where is she right now? Bud would know where she is, by the way.
She in food cellar place.
The perfect ambush spot, I presume.
That's what she said when you poop out dragon.
She chuckles and she like jumps off the chair and she will turn to Shalon and say, "You are welcome to stay here. I would not bring you near that source of evil if it is there." And Shalon will look to the rest of you like, "Should I stay here?"
Bud think it a good idea for you to stay here in case it get violent.
Okay, Shalon will nod, and Kizzy, the gnome, will like go to the door, open it, and like motion, "Shall we?"
All right. I follow her.
Bud, Benjamin, what do you do?
I follow her as well.
Bud follows last. Yep.
Okay. You guys are heading to like the food stores, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You will see below deck the Pandaren. He's not in the food stores proper. and he stops you guys and says, "Oh, Mr. First Mate, what are you three doing?"
Um,
Are you also going to help us, Benjamin, with our little project?
Well, I'd rather not, but here we are.
The
is
gnome. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I was about to ask, is she with us?
Yeah. She's with you guys. And she will say, "Trust me, friend, that I do not wish you harm. I know what your intentions are." And the Pandaran will look at you guys like, "What did you tell her?"
She either mind controlled us or she convinced us that she is not evil.
The Pandaran will shrug and, well, not shrug, will sigh and say, "Well, I was only in it because, no offense, but your skills are worth quite a bit of money." And he will walk away, not choosing to not get involved any further.
Yeah, can you do you you know that thing that snakes do? Do dragons do that as well? Can you give us some of your body parts?
I'm
I
sorry.
just facepalmed.
He is right, dragon scales and teeth and claws. Those are pretty expensive stuff.
Let She looks a bit incredulous, like you're asking this now, but she will shrug and say, "If we make it through the day alive, this dagger, if the Archmage has it, is more dangerous than you think. Then, yes, I could be convinced to part with a scale for you."
Also, you said that you can, but you don't want to turn into a dragon uh, while we are inside, right?
Well, it would break the ship.
Should we then confront her somewhere else, like on the upper deck?
I mean, I think turning into a dragon would only confirm her suspicions.
Well, I am powerful enough in this form as well. And, well, while most of the crew does know about me being a dragon, not quite all of them know, and I'd rather not shock them right away.
Is there anyone else who is a dragon? Benjamin? Buhd?
Not that I know of.
Is but a dragon.
Not on this
But no,
ship.
things.
Not on this ship, she will say.
What about that? Yeah, actually, let's confront Meridia. We'll talk later.
And speaking of which, let me just make some room. You guys see Meridia leaving the food stores with a very familiar looking knife in hand. Did you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while.
Okay. And she looks rather angry and will say, "What is the meaning of this, Bladebeard, Buhd? I thought we had an agreement."
But never a handshake.
I thought you didn't have the knife. Guess we're both double crossers.
Yeah, but where did you get that?
She will ignore your comment, Bladebeard, and turn to the gnome and say, "So, shall we settle this, I suppose, Mrs. Dragon?" And Kizzy will say, "It doesn't have to be like this. I understand the pain that the blue dragonflight has caused the Teeironor. By the way, during this discussion, you guys are free to intervene. I don't want to like just have the NPCs talking with each other, even though it makes sense in context. This isn't
It's a cinematic. It's okay.
Don't treat it like a cinematic. Don't treat it like a cinematic. This is an RPG, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put down the bad dagger. That the bad dagger.
The Archmage will grip the dagger even more and say, "Bring back the friends I lost. Bring back all the friends that she and her kin killed."
But can go look for them.
The gnome will say, "Please, we can discuss this calmly. You know that the artifact you are wielding is not something you would usually stumble upon. Look what it did to that orc. Look what it did to the goblin Benjamin met."
Wait. So Meridia killed the orc.
The Archmage will say, "Of course I killed the bloody orc. And I've never felt better, to be honest."
Alright.
Now, Bladebeard, Buhd, Benjamin, I'm willing to give you one final chance to help me against this fiend. You know how dangerous they are.
And I know how dangerous that knife is.
That knife, this knife, is the key to achieving things that you cannot even achieve, you cannot even dream of. You were a fool to let it go in the first place.
What kind of things?
She does not like reply to you.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe becoming the Emperor of Stormwind and executing the Lich King. But you know.
What, you too? I'm joking. She does not actually say that. Okay. I guess there's nothing more to it than to begin a boss fight, I guess.
Oh no.
Which should we postpone for next week or start?
I think it may be better to postpone it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, let's move into our discussion. What did you guys think of this session? Your predictions were true, though I didn't really try to hide that thing very much.
Yeah.
Did have my suspicions on the Defias guy, because why would you bring a Defias onto the ship and not do anything with them being a Defias? But the moment he was like, "Oh no, something magical did that," I was like, "Oh, that can only mean like 2 characters on this ship, basically."
Yeah. For a while, until Benjamin intervened, I honestly thought, yeah, you guys were going to try to assassinate Kyrie alongside the Archmage.
Yeah.
I mean, I was Buhd is pretty easy to sway, but because Benjamin stepped in, he got easily swayed by Benjamin. So
Yeah, and I'm also really glad that you guys as players would obviously know that siding with Kyrie is the better choice, but I'm glad that you made a choice that is not directly favorable to you, but that your characters would make. So kudos on that.
Bladebeard is still confused. He's not sure if he's mind controlled or not.
Well, when the Archmage will attack you with shadow magic, I imagine that will convince you that, yeah, she is the evil one.
By the way, I'll bet by the end of the boss fight, Bladebeard will have lost 1 or 2 eyes.
Oh wow.
We will see what happens. What can I say? What are your thoughts on this session? I know it was marred by technical difficulties, and that's what honestly sticks to my mind the most. But what are your thoughts on this session?
I guess aside from that, I think it was felt kind of short due to again the technical difficulties. But I guess it was fun. We had the chance to talk to Mr. Defias, which we hadn't talked before. Let's talk a bit of other characters and learn more, a bit more about them and their intentions.
Yeah, yeah.
I quite liked the mystery being solved in this one. I mean, I think that it was gonna pop up eventually, obviously, but I obviously it was the dagger was involved, and also the ended up being the archmage, which I got suspicious on like the moment she was like, "Hey, let's go kill this dragon." All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, that's weird of her." So kind of had a feeling that she was suspicious, and a part of me, like what I wanted to do before Benjamin like got involved, I was gonna have like Buhd accidentally reveal it because it's Buhd, and I thought it was kind of stupid of the archmage to be like, "Oh yeah, let's go send Buhd to bring her down here." Obviously, Buhd would say something to mess something up, so that's what I was planning on doing initially, because I was like, well, I as the player don't like this, but Buhd doesn't know that it's a bad thing, so I'm just gonna have Buhd mess up somehow because it's in character of Buhd to, you don't typically use Buhd in a strategy like that. So
Yeah, understandable. Though I would say in context, the Archmage was mostly counting on Bladebeard, and she mostly took you as kind of an agent of Bladebeard rather than you yourself, if that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Buhd has done something on his own without Bladebeard's permission, though. So
Yeah, Bladebeard really can't control Buhd that well.
Pun entirely intended, but Buhd is a loose cannon. Get it? Cause got a cannon.
Yeah.
I also wanted to give like you guys a chance before escalating into an actual fight to like bring the archmage back, and that's why I had her like talk to Benjamin. Hey, isn't like the eye gouging pretty weird? Haha, isn't that weird? It weirds me out too. Please motivate me to drop this dagger.
How strange.
Yeah. Otherwise, you guys have the aid of a dragon, but the Archmage has the aid of an artifact from like tens of millennia ago. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, I don't want to kill her, so I don't think Bud's gonna shoot his cannon at her. Like it's like do or die. Like if it's a situation where like she like is trying to like she is like just about to kill Bladebeard or Benjamin, then Bud's gonna be like, "Oh, bye, Mage Lady."
Yeah, understandable. I will say, she hasn't had the dagger for like a very long while, so it hasn't like really corrupted her or something. So if you guys try and succeed, you may be able to like bring her back, but it's also entirely possible that she will die a villain.
I have a question.
Ask.
Did she kill the equivalent of my Lich King in her dream?
Well, her dream also involved like some pretty nasty fantasies, but like how in your dream she was there half naked, now you understand why she had some weird thoughts about people visiting her in her dream.
Oh, that was actually a smart hit. I hadn't thought of that.
Did her dream include sexy Benjamin?
To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. It would include also fantasies of that type, but I'm not sure if Benjamin would be there. I need to think about that. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sexy Bud.
Definitely not. And definitely not Bladebeard.
Oh,
Well,
It's okay, Blade.
I will
Well,
say.
Bud-
I will say
Well,
Benjamin. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Bud will eventually find that special someone because
I
Teeironor
believe
keeps
in you.
talking about. He keeps talking about we're eventually gonna run into them, so
Maybe.
I look forward to that because that might mean Bud might settle down at some point.
Maybe. Regarding Benjamin, she would find Benjamin attractive were it not for the fact that he keeps wetting himself.
Well, I can't help it.
Are you doing that on purpose to like not make him like a JoJo character or something?
What?
You know, like all the ladies swooning over him. Like, did you do that on purpose so that they
Well,
wouldn't be doing that?
not necessarily. Let's say he just doesn't like big fish.
He doesn't like big. This is the first time he's
May-
pissed
may-
himself.
Maybe he has like a traumatic event with fish when he was a kid. Who knows?
He a Murloc tried to eat him when he was a
Yeah,
child.
who knows?
Captain Cookie.
Maybe
Captain Cookie.
maybe the scar he has was made by a big fish. Who knows? Who knows?
Ooh.
But also, now you guys, it's pretty obvious how the Archmage knows that Kizzy / Kyrie is a dragon.
Yeah.
Because the same thing did tell Benjamin, this goblin is more than she seems. Also, when you guys had that dream with the troll Loa, he did say that he sensed the influence of the, quote, great winged ones on that ship.
I don't remember that.
Oh, there you go.
Great. Good one. Oh, but he was talking about a dragon.
Yeah,
Or-
winged, I don't know if that came like across, but winged. You get it. It can be hard for us non-native English speakers, that's what I mean. But yeah. Any other thoughts on this session and maybe expectations for next time?
Well, hopefully we'll not kill the mage lady. That's all.
We shall see what happens. I have my own hopes, obviously, but I also am fully prepared for whatever happens to happen. In whichever direction this will go. So we shall see, indeed. Again, any other thoughts before we move on into our shoutouts?
I don't think so.
Really? Yeah.
Okay, so let's move into our shoutouts. As usual, going in alphabetical order. DoomGoblin.
Yeah, I'm DoomGoblin. I'm a digital artist. You can find my work on Twitter and other links. Yeah, I do more often than not Warcraft related drawings. So if you like WoW, you might like my work.
Well, maybe at the BlizzCon that will happen in the future from us, but in the past from our viewers, it will no longer be called Warcraft anymore. But I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Who knows?
what was the joke? Pandaria something.
Yeah. It cut off. It probably cut off because of the whole technical difficulties stuff. Yeah. Next would be Sir Thompshire.
I'm Sir Thompshire. I make WoW Machinima and occasionally some renders, and you can find me both on YouTube and Twitter.
Indeed. And next would be Skoll of Skoll Shorties. I can't hear Skoll.
No one
There
can.
we go. Microphone's back on. I
Okay.
turned it off while I was typing because I don't want people hearing the tipping. Hello, I am Skoll of Skoll Shorties, and I make machinima, WoW topic videos on like lore and shit posts and all that. You can also find me on YouTube, on here, but also on Twitter. So yeah.
Indeed. And I was your DM Game Master, Teeironor. I'm really sorry if I seemed more tired and sluggish today. It was partly the technical difficulties, partly IRL stuff. That's why I haven't been posting videos lately. But when I do post videos, usually it's on really niche Warcraft lore topics. So yeah. And all our links will be on screen for each and every one of us and in the description as well. So thank you once again everybody for watching and listening to us. And we shall see you next session. Goodbye everyone.
See ya.
Fire!
See you.